But if you know your business with just 15 questions, that would be great. Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm presenting my latest ad hoc analysis project for Omniretail Pvt Limited. This is a multi-regional company which sells products across different categories like home, electronics, grocery, etc. And recently they are facing some kind of problems, like some of their stores are underperforming, some of their products have high return rates, and their store-wise performance is not aligned with category-wise profitability, and there is a uses of payment methods across demographics. So to find out the root cause of these problems, they provided me with 10 business questions. As well as I also felt urged for some few more business questions that needed to be analyzed in order to get the proper description of the problems and recommendations. So packed up everything, I ended up with 15 strategic business questions that will help them to know everything that is needed for their business to solve these problems and to improve their performance. So let's begin. So here is my ad hoc analysis project where all the questions are sorted into different business segments. And in this project, we will analyze everything into two parts. In the first part, we will go through each of the questions and try to understand the overall business conditions, the challenges the business is facing, and the behavior of the customers, the performance of different regions, and the performance of different products and categories. And after understanding everything about the business, we will suggest them, we will recommend them some strategic actions they should take in order to overcome these challenges. So at first we will know everything about the business, then after summarizing everything, we will give them recommendations. So let's begin. The first business question says, which region has the highest total revenue? To answer this question, I have created a column chart that shows total revenue across different regions. And you can see the West region is clearly the revenue leader, followed by South, North, and East. And each region has a revenue gap somewhere around $15,000. That's a consistent gap. And here through tooltip you can also see the revenue trend over time of each of the regions. So the West region shows an upward trend. The South also have an upward trend with lot of ups and downs. And in the North region you can see it is declining over time. So it should give some focus. And the East region, it is not only the lowest profitable region, but also it is the lowest growing region overall. So after knowing about the region-wise performance, let's dive into next question that says, how does the return rate vary by region? So I have shown return rate across different regions, and you can see that the return rates are somewhere around 10% on average. That's a good thing that indicates a stable and manageable level of product dissatisfaction across different regions. And you can see it has the highest return rate followed by West, and among them East is showing a declining trend over time of return rate. That's a good thing. And West, it is increasing, so it should giving some treatments. And the North is increasing at a concerning peak, right? And the South is also declining over time. So let's see our next question. It says, which store has the lowest revenue but highest number of sales? So I have, yeah, this question is actually requiring average order value for different stores. So I have shown there first total sales for different stores, and by dividing total sales by the number of sales, we got average order value. So let's go step by step. First we will sort them according to total sales, and you can see these stores have higher total sales. They also have a higher number of sales. And if I sort them according to number of sales, you can see store to number 2 and store number 5 has both higher number of total sales and higher number of sales. Now the question requires which store has the lowest revenue but highest number of sales. That means they are wanting to see the store with the lowest average order value. So let's see, the store with lowest average order value is the store number 3. Now let's sort them according to their average order value, and you can see store number 8 has the highest average order value, though it is a low selling store, but due to its low number of sales it has the highest average order value. So these 3 questions were related to region and store operations. Now we will dive into product and category analysis with some questions. Let's start. The question number 4, which says which product category generates the highest revenue on average per sale. So it is actually requiring the average order value across different product categories. So I have shown it through a bar chart here, and you can see grocery has the highest average order value on average across all of the regions, followed by home, clothing, toys, and there is a significant drop at the electronics. We can also see their average order value trend over time, where grocery is showing a declining trend and home is increasing. That's a good thing, and others are quite stable. If we see region wise, East has the highest ever order value for clothing, while North has the highest ever order value for electronics and grocery. They share the same average order value, and for the South it is home, and for the West it is toys category. Okay, so different regions has different average order value based on their market. Let's see next business question. Question number 5 that says what is the return rate per product category. So if we analyze the return rate, electronics followed by clothing has the highest return rates. That indicates there is a problem with user alignment, user expectation alignment, and usage related problems causing high return rate for electronics and clothing. And if we see the return rate over time, electronics is declining. That's a good thing, but clothing is increasing in a concerning pace. So there should some investigation should be performed to reduce the return rate of clothing. Let's see region wise. For the East, electronics has the highest return rate, but there is no return of clothes in the East region, so other regions should follow East. For the North, electronics followed by clothing has the highest return rates, and electronics has too much returns in North. In the South, clothing has the highest, and in the West, clothing has the highest return rates. Now next, this question says what is the average unit price per product category. So I have created a bar chart which shows average unit price for each of the product categories, and you can see all of them are same, exactly same, to $200.59. That's because this business has the same unit price for all of the products, and that's an interesting thing. So next question, the last question about product, that says identify the top 5 products with highest total sales by quantity. So here is a clustered bar chart that shows total revenue and total quantity sold for each of the top 5 products, and you can see product number 40 has the highest total revenue, and there is a moderate drop of around 20% after the first product. And you can see there is a strong correlation between total revenue and total quantity sold for the products, and that is causing because each product has the same unit price, so more quantity sold means more total revenue, and this reflects a volume driven sales pattern. So these 4 were the questions related to product and category. Now we'll analyze the behavior of customers of our business. So let's begin. The question number 8 says which customers have made the most purchases in terms of total amount spent. That means it's also requiring average order value for different customers. So let's go step by step. If I sort them according to total amount spent, customer number 1 spent the most in our business. He is the most valuable customer, followed by those customers. I took down their IDs here. If I sort them according to number of purchases, these customers are most frequent customers of the business, and they have a variety of total amount spent. If I sort them according to average order value, here you can see a important thing to consider, that is the customers with higher average order value tend to purchase lower. That means they are less frequent, but they have a higher average order value. It is like these customers are buying a large amount in their first order and they're disappearing suddenly. So the business should focus on retaining these high value customers in order to maximize long-term profitability. And if I scroll down a bit, you can see customer number 1, who is not only the highest value customers of the business, he is also a frequent customer, and he also have a higher average order value. So we can consider him as a champion customers of our business, and he deserves something from the business. Now next question about customers, that says who are the most profitable customers. To answer this, I have shown the total amount spent of different customers followed by their return rates, and after subtracting the return amount from total amount spent, we got the net revenue for each of the customers, which indicates the profitability of different customers. So we have already seen total amount spent for different customers in the previous question, and if I sort them according to net revenue, these are the most profitable customers of our business. And also here customer 1 is a champion customer who spend the most and has no return. Also we can sort them according to return rate, and if we do so, you can see most of the returns are performed by low value customers. That means customers with high return rate are have a lower total amount spent. And if we scroll down a bit, you can see customer number 8 and customer number 113. These two customers have a high return rate and they are some high value customers. So that is the thing. And if you scroll down more, you can see most of the customers never returned any product in their purchase history. And here's a tooltip which shows the purchase history for different customers. You can go through it for deeper analysis of their behavior. The next question, question number 10, says what is the customer retention rate across different regions? So a bar chart that shows the retention rate of different regions here, and here shows the overall retention rate across all of the regions average, and you can see it through different months. And we can also see the average of all of the months here. So let's begin with it. If we look at the average overall retention rate of different regions, South is the leader, followed by West, East and North. And you can see South is showing a declining trend, West is all of them actually showing declining trend over time. That's a concerning thing. And none of them has a return rate greater than 15%, and the overall retention rate is around 20%. That's a low value, and that indicates that the business is weak at retaining customers. So if we see the monthly average monthly retention rate of different customers starting from January, actually it's the first month, February, East has a retention rate of 10%, and the overall retention rate is 21.40%. And at this point you may ask that if the overall retention rate is 21.40%, why East have a retention rate of 10% only? That's causing because there are some of the customers they are making their first purchase from East, and they are making the second purchase from north, third purchase from south, and this is causing the overall retention rate higher than the retention rate of individual regions. For the March, West have some of retention. For the April, there is no retention of any specific region. For the May, East has a too much high retention rate as in individual region. For June, North and East both have retentions, but North has a high retention there. For the July, South has a high retention rate. For the August, South also have a high retention rate. Mainly July and August, that means mid-year or quarter number 3 is a peak point of retention for South area. For the September, there North has a retention followed by West. For the October, it is South. For the November, there is no retention for a specific region, and for the December, East has some of retention, and we can see East region maintains some retention across most of the months, while the mid-year is the peak point of some other regions. And if we follow here, that says the East got his most retention at May, which is 16%, 67%, and it is a high retention compared to others. And across all regions, August followed by April and July record the highest retention rate, which is close to 30%. So let's see August. It has a retention rate 29.41%, followed by April and July. Let's say April, no individual retention for any region, but it has a retention rate around 30%, and also July has a high retention rate. August and July with high retention rate indicates the clear mid-year demand of customers. So these are our customer level analysis, and now we'll analyze payment method. The question number 11 that says how do different payment methods impact total revenue. So here is a donut chart that shows the distribution of total revenue across different payment methods, and you can see there is a balanced distribution across different payment methods here. You can also see the total revenue trend over time. While credit card is increasing, followed by others, most of them are a bit increasing. And if we go to region wise, the East region, there is a balanced distribution overall. Credit card have a higher also here. In the North, UPI is significantly lower, while credit card is higher there. In the South region, there is a quite balanced distribution, and in the West, UPI got its highest total revenue here, while credit cards have the lowest. So credit card have a high percentage of total revenue in most of the regions, but in West, UPI got higher, and in the East, it is in the North, UPI is lower. And here you can see in the West region, cash usage is steadily increasing. In the West, if we see into cash, it is significantly increasing over time, while most of the other payment methods are decreasing or slow growing. So that's about payment method. The next segment is trend and seasonality analysis. So actually the dataset is based on only 1 year, 2024, and there is nothing to analyze much about seasonality with just 1 year of data, but as much as we can, we will try to analyze. So question number 4 says which quarter sees the highest sales. So there is a quarter-wise total sales trend, and we can see quarter number 2 has the peak sales overall, and quarter number 1 has the lowest sales. So there is a lower sales at the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So quarter 1 and 4 should given some focus, and there is a clear mid-year demand here. Now let's dive into the region wise. It shows a quite similar trend as overall, also the others quite similar as overall. And in East, Q4 has the peak sales. In North, Q4 has a significant drop here, while Q2 is the peak point here, as well as the average. And in South, Q3 has got its highest total sales, and in the West, it is similar pattern with ups and downs. And yeah, through tooltip you can also see the sales of different categories into different points. And at the peak point, Q2, you can see that toys has the highest total sales. But in other quarters, toys has lower sales. So we can say that the peak point is caused by mainly toy segment. And if you say region wise, the North has its high sales at Q2, and here electronics got a significant growth, which is more than all of the other category sales. So this is a point. And now we'll dive into next question that says, which region is rapidly growing in terms of total revenue? So here is a total revenue trend over time for different regions, and you can clearly see South is the fastest growing region, followed by West, while East is a slow growing as we discussed before, and North is showing a declining trend over time. And you can see each of the region has their own pattern of ups and downs, fluctuations, anomalies, indicating their own specific market. The question number 14 says, which categories show declining sales trend over time? So here is a category wise total sales over time through line chart, and you can see grocery has a declining trend over time, while others are increasing, and home has the fastest growth over time. And you can dive into region wise analysis. In the East region, grocery is increasing, while in the other regions it is also increasing, but in the North, grocery has got a significant decline. So the decline in grocery is mainly caused by the North region. And you can see grocery got the least sales in the latest month, while at the same month clothing got its peak sales. And home is the fastest growing, but in the past home has a total revenue lower than most of the other categories. So with a bad historical performance, home is now a fastest growing category. And you can see the region wise sales pattern for each of the stores. Let's read them through the insights. And here says that electronics performed poorly in Q3 in 2024 in West. In West, electronics in Q3, here you can say significant drop, and and it is currently experiencing downward trend in both East and North. So East and North, electronics has a downward trend, so it should give some focus. And as we seen previously, the North has its peak sales for the electronics. So the declining trend of electronics in North should be analyzed. For the toys, it is growing steadily in the South and West, but declining in the East and North. And we have already seen previously that the peak sales at Q2 is causing for the toy segmentation mainly, and now we are seeing that toys has a growth in South and West. The toys is growing here, while in the other two regions toys is declining over time. And in the east region, compared to others, it has a lot of ups and downs for each of the product categories. So these were the analysis of different product categories over time. Now our last question, question number 15, that says, are there seasonal patterns in customer purchasing behavior? Yes, you can see there are seasonal patterns for overall and at the beginning of the year it is not performing much well, but there is a clear media demand, as we have seen this before, and there is a clear dip in the March, and that is recovered at the rest of the year. So let's dive into specific regions. For the east, yeah, there is a peak point at the May, while the other months are quite lower. In the north, starting at January, low. It is quite same pattern as the overall, but with a lots of ups and downs. So it is not showing any clear pattern, clear seasonality. It have a lot of ups and downs. In the south region, January starts at the lowest total sales, and it is gradually increasing over time to the end of the year. For the west, there is a high demand at the year end, but against other regions, which shows a decline at the mid-year, which is July. So these are the 15 business questions we have analyzed, and through these questions we are now known to the overall business condition, the performance of different regions, the behavior of customers, and the demand of different product categories, and seasonality trends of the business. And after that, now we will see a summary of what we observed, and here is a executive summary which says west and south are the primary engines of growth. We have seen they have higher total amount of sales, while north is declining and east was the lowest growing region. Return rates are stable overall, but electronics and clothing, they have a high return rate and they need to fix. The customer retention is critically low, which is lower than 20%, and needs a strategic overhaul. The category performance varies sharply by region, demanding a region-specific product strategy. Several high-value customers exhibit low return behavior. As you have seen before, two of the customers, they are high value, but yeah, they have a high return rate. The rest of the high-value customers shows lower return rates. Payment behaviors are shifting unevenly across different regions. Growth opportunities exist in home and toys. They are high-growing categories, while electronics and grocery requires urgent intervention. So overall, the business is functional but fragmented, with major performance gaps across regions, stores, products, and customer segments. So here is a key challenges. We have already discussed this before, and I have pointed out each of them here. And after that, finally we'll go to the recommendation segment, where and there is written recommendations for different business challenges from different viewpoints, for regional viewpoint, category wise and customer wise, different across different segments. We have recommended business some fixes according to the challenges they are facing and the business condition. So for the region wise optimization, the business should turn around plan for north and east, because they are low growing. North is showing a declining trend and east is a low growing. So the business can deploy targeted promotions in quarter number 1 and quarter number 4. We have seen their low selling quarters where demand is weakest, and they should also conduct customer research to identify pain points of these regions. And there is a leverage growth in south and west, so they can all there is a possibility of higher growth. For category-wise profitability, they should fix electronics return issues. They should investigate product defects, warranty questions, and user experience gaps. And they should give better product description, demonstrations, and post-purchase support for the electronic segment. The main causes of returns at electronic are mentioned here. And for the return rate for clothing, which is significantly increasing, they should introduce standard sizing and quality checks. Mainly clothing returns are caused by size problems or some other user expectation unalignment, and they should also allow virtual try-on or fit guidance online so that the customers select the right clothes for their. And they should also revitalize grocery category as it is showing a declining average order value trend over time. So let's say about customer retention, they should launch a tier-based loyalty programs for the repeated customers, for the high frequency customers, and especially for the higher average order value customers because they are less frequent. They should target high value customers with personalizations, and customer number 1, who is the champion customers, followed by 12 and 161. They can offer them exclusive offers for their loyalty. They should return churn among customers with high returns but high spend. In these two customers, we have seen that they have a higher return rate, although they are high value customers. The business should also also improve post-purchase engagement. We have discussed it before. And store performance optimization. The business should fix store number 3, which has a lowest average order value. So it should introduce higher value products. It should perform some promotional activities for premium baskets. The business can also boost volume at store number 8, which has a highest average order value, but its sales is low. We can also see the average order value in the top performing stores like store number 1 and 9, which are two of the most valuable stores. They have a lower average order value, they have a decline in it, and they should given some focus. And while payment method strategy, we should promote credit card, especially in East and North, where credit card usage is comparatively less. And we should also optimize UPI strategy region wise, as in the South region UPI is significantly lower. And we should also reduce cash dependency in West because it sometimes causes problem. It is the digital payment methods are better than cash as well. So this was my ad hoc analysis with 15 strategic business questions that let us to know about everything about the business and suggest them powerful recommendations to fix these problems. And after this ad hoc analysis, I also created a interactive dashboard for the stakeholders to give them full flexibility of diving into the business and knowing the business from different viewpoints. And that's all for today. I hope you like this ad hoc analysis with 15 strategic business questions. And if you feel ever need of this kind of analysis, you can contact me for your business. Thanks a lot, and don't forget to share your feelings about this analysis.